Emeli, how are you doing?
Really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
It's great to see you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Do you enjoy the view?
Loving it.
Come on.
Yeah, it was beautiful seeing the morning come up.
You know, only gilded by your presence here. Adam on guitar. We had a big chat earlier on, didn't we, Adam? Emeli, great to have you back with us. Oh,
thank you.
And what a tune. All This Love from the album that's out now. How Were We to Know? So this is the 5th album. 2009, baby.
Yeah.
Well, we know where you are now. We'll talk about that more in a moment. We'll hear more from you in a moment musically. But back to Diamond Rings by rapper Chipmunk.
Yes, that was the beginning.
Back in the day. How did that happen?
Well, I'd met Naughty Boy. He was one of the first people I met in London.
Yeah.
And so I was studying in Glasgow, and I remember he would send me beats, just, email them over. And I was hoovering up my room one day, and I was listening to the beat for Diamond Rings. And I was like, da 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 da. Sent it to Naughty Boy. We recorded it, and he's very connected. So Naughty Boy then sent it to Chipmunk's team.
Wow.
And that was our first top 10 single, yeah.
Oh my goodness! When you say he used to send me beats.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know what that means, but well, I'm just trying to style it out. To be honest. Okay, here's the question: what does that mean?
So he would send me the productions. All the music was there,
Right?
And then I would do a top line, melody and lyric on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So where does it come? Where do those top lines come from? Because I know it's not the same, but if I'm in the sauna or going for a run or something like that, if I get an idea, I know it's a good one because I didn't have it. I was had by it. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes, yeah. It feels like you're discovering it.
Yeah, if I try and think of an idea, I can convince myself it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But there's too much heavy lifting going on. Whereas if an idea comes to me, I know that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's the same with songs. When you get those songs that just flow out and you feel like you've kind of uncovered them, those usually end up being the most successful ones because, they've, you found them somewhere.
Yeah.
It often feels like.
So 2009, you don't mind us doing a bit of an origin thing?
Oh, no.
I love them. I love them.
Yeah.
But, when people have been around for a while, it's great to go back and just to remind ourselves because we all re-engage we fall a bit more back in love with how we started again sometimes.
Yeah.
'Cause, sometimes you get carried away with our own, whatever it may be. So it wasn't an overnight thing for you, though, was it? Because it was 3 years to your first album.
Yeah, I mean, even before that, when I was 16, I was trying to get signed, and that didn't work out. Then coming back, and then I was a writer for about 2 years after I'd met.
Writing for other people.
Yeah, so I was writing.
Don't you hate that? Writing great songs for other people to be successful with.
So I mean, it was good to get an insight behind the business, understand what goes on. So we wrote a lot for Leona Lewis, Susan Boyle, a lot for the Simon Cowell's artists. So that was a good education, and then, but yeah, it was a struggle trying to get.
Tell us about that world. That because clearly that was something you did more than once.
Yeah.
Where were you? Where geographically? Where were you? How was that working week? How often did you go to rehearsals with these various names you mentioned?
Well, when they were in, album mode, we were there. They'd maybe book us for like 2 weeks. They come in every day. You get to know the people, which is lovely. Sometimes you write and you just email the track over, but I much prefer it when you get to sit down and get to know them.
Good fun?
Yeah, really good fun, actually.
Yeah,
and the
sounds
pressure's
great.
off. You're kind of there doing the song. Obviously, you want to give them good songs,
Yeah.
but then it's their job to then go and...
Why am I thinking Notting Hill?
Notting Hill?
No, because I'm just picturing you in Notting Hill with Leona Lewis and Susan Boyle. But
no, this was in Ealing, actually. Ealing Film
Oh,
Studios.
that's classy. That's cool.
Yeah.
We'll take that, won't we?
Yeah, pretty cool.
All right, and then what? Loads of things. I mean, you are amazing. 4 Brit Awards. You're as good as a vocalist can get. You're amazing. You're an amazing person. You're an amazing performer. So, but 2012, your album, it was number one for 10 weeks, but not consecutively. It was that's when albums could come and go, and you had a bit of excitement on the ride.
Yeah,
that was what caused the fluctuation. What nabbed the number one spot in between your run, and how did you get it back? And
oh gosh, I mean, when the album first came out, I just won the Critics' Choice, which was amazing. So I think that gives me a lot of exposure. To go number one. Then the Olympics came, so then you see the flux.
Oh yeah, of
coming
course,
out.
that was all that year, wasn't it?
So the Olympics definitely pushed it back up, and then
you did opening and closing.
Yes, yeah.
Did anybody else do opening and closing?
I don't think so. No.
Cheeky.
Yeah, I got lucky there.
Very lucky there. Wow.
But yeah, it was a good time. It was a great year, 2012.
All right, so here we are, 5 albums on, and you've said this about this kind of, once you've been hurt, it's very hard to pick up the pieces again and allow yourself to be vulnerable. So I think these songs explore the bravery of love and loving others, but also yourself. We said earlier on this week, a lot of people sort of become distracted, you use the diversion of trying to find the perfect person to spend the rest of their life with, when actually the only person you're really going to spend the rest of your life with anyway is you.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's so mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm happily married 16, 17 years. Vassos, you're the same. But if we actually do the maths, we don't really spend that much time with our wives. Not because we don't like them, but just because that's the way it is for most people who are married.
Yeah.
But you spend 24/7 with yourself.
Yeah.
Right, tell us your current hot take on that situation, Emeli.
Yeah, that is the most important relationship with yourself, because as soon as you're alone or as soon as there's silence, you have to face yourself. So I think it's really important to invest time on getting to like yourself at least, and you know, enjoy being alone. But yeah, I'm happy in love, but at the same time, it's so true. You can only give as much love as you can give yourself. So it's a good place to start.
What about Brené Brown? She loves vulnerability as a superpower. Do you know Brené Brown?
I know that, actually.
Oh, she's written all these books called Daring Greatly, and she says vulnerability is our ultimate superpower because within that is everything.
Yeah,
it's self-discovery, it's energy, it's acceptance, it's surrender.
Yeah,
it's all those different things. I love her for that. It's interesting though, isn't it? That whole relationship with yourself, and you know the reference you also refer, you know. The phrase broken heart, you know, I think if you have a great relationship with yourself, it's almost impossible for your heart to be broken. And that's not because you compartmentalize your emotions and you sort of firewall yourself against emotions. But I don't feel like anybody else has the permission to break your heart if you're whole. Yeah,
that's true. But then on the other hand, I think falling like deep in love or becoming that soul intertwining, I think that's where the hurt comes if it ever ends. But
I get the
you're
hurt.
true though. You should still feel whole by yourself. But it just takes a while getting used to that separation, I think.
Yeah, well, you've shared it all with us here, haven't you?
Gosh.
All this love. My boy likes to party.
Yep.
Oh, I want to hear the backstory of that track. Do you want to tell us? You don't have to, by the way.
It's just, sometimes people are unfaithful and they like to party.
Yeah. Lighthouse, how are we to know? Too much. Nothing we can't handle. Like I loved you. There for you. True colours. End of time. Love. Because of you. It's pretty much all the way.
Yeah.
This
love,
album.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Is it true that you're taking over Ronnie Scotts for a bit?
Yes, I'm doing a residency there at the end of January. 6 shows in 3 days and nights.
Nice.
So yeah, it's going to be cool.
How is that going to be vocally?
I'm going to go jazz. So I think I'll be able to keep it smooth, keep the voice intact. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're doing it for the right reasons, you get all the right energy anyway, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's cool. Whose idea was that?
Agent, manager, but I've always wanted to play Ronnie Scotts. So
have you played Ronnie Scotts?
I've played there, but never in my own gig. So this would be nice to like take over the room for.
And what's better than one Emeli Sandé gig at Ronnie Scotts? 6 on the bounce. Adam,
Endurance.
Your fingers up for it, Adam? Has he got the gig?
Yeah, we'll be doing a few shows there. Yeah.
How did you two meet?
Actually, through Naughty Boy. We were doing a writing session and Shah introduced me to Adam and we've been making music ever since.
I like Adam. I don't know much about him, but I like him.
Yeah, he's a cool
Am
guy.
I right?
Yeah.
I like Ollie as well, your tour manager.
Yeah, he's a great guy
He's a dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by tour managers.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
And how do you become... I asked him, how do you become a tour manager? Are you a frustrated musician? Could you not be bothered? Are you somebody's best friend? All roads, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special passion.
Special.
They've got to organise people and musicians. It can't be easy.
Because you're dealing with lots of special people.
Yeah.